Hi guys, this is the Dell Streak 5. I've had this for about a month now, and I bought it from the Carphone warehouse because they had a sale on. My HTC Desire was going back for a warranty repair, and I was using this as a phone as well as a tablet at the same time. I kind of like the idea of it being a phone and a tablet in one device. I thought that was quite a good idea. However, some of you may know the Nokia N-Gage that I had about 5 years ago. The Nokia N-Gage, if you were using it as a phone, looked a little bit like a Bassett sweet sandwich. Wasn't the most desirable thing to have next to your face, you know, just didn't look good. Basically, that was a bit of a rant, wasn't it? This is the same sort of thing. If you look at the design, it's quite a large piece of kit. The screen itself is 5 inches, nothing exceptionally special, although I find it on par with my Desire. The case I've got on this one is an OtterBox. Simple, does add some chunk to the actual device though. The device itself, Dell's useless port there on the side, volume buttons, power and lock, 3.5mm jack there. Most of the control of the phone is done by these 3 buttons. This is obviously home, settings, stuff like that, and your return button. They're quite responsive. I have noticed some lag in some areas, but I think that's mainly due to the actual software. Talking about software, this probably brings me to what I'm actually using. When I first got the phone from Carphone Warehouse, there was a pre-installed app called Vevo, I think, on the actual device, and it was quite an adamant piece of software. It was always up in the notification tray, and this was really annoying because you couldn't uninstall it because it was within the ROM itself of the phone. And the only way to get rid of this properly is to root the phone and then use something like Root Explorer to go into the system apps, and then remove it from there. It just seemed really unnecessary, really, and quite a pain because I didn't really see much point in rooting. Although my Desire's rooted, I didn't really feel that it was essential to root this device. However, in doing so, I used an application called Gingerbreak, which is a really simple way of rooting the device. Hold on, before I load the app up, it's there you go. If I receive a few requests, I may host the file on 4Shared for everyone to quickly download over the App Store. If we just fire up Gingerbreak there. There we go, and then Super User loads up, obviously because I'm already rooted. It was a really easy procedure though, and it's literally root device or unroot device, and it was that simple to do. Took about, say, a couple of minutes and rebooted. With rooting, in my previous video you've seen that, well, not everyone may have seen that the boot screen is now changed, and I've used one of the honeycomb loading screens and ported it to the Dell Streak. This is also on XDA developers. Using this as a phone it's not great, to be fair. There's a few things that lack in certain areas. For example, if you go to the phone, how uncool does that look? It just looks like my granddad's phone, you know. Nothing exactly desirable, but I think this has a lot to do with the actual software that's being used. I feel that now the Dell Streak the ports have been dropped and that there's no more development in process. Obviously you can look at third-party ROMs, which I have done so as well, and I wasn't really impressed. So the only reason I looked at looking at other ROMs was because of that stupid application that I didn't want on the phone. If we go into settings, about phone, and then we go to Android version, it is 2.2.2. and it's just rooted. That's all I've done really. I've installed loads of games, as you can see. Also, as a movie player, this is probably one of the best selling points of the device actually. I use an application called Rock Player, which is a really like simple basic video player, but it plays AVI files, which I find quite useful. This is the Soloist, just about to load up. It just gives you a quick idea of what the quality's like. It's really steady, it's quite sharp, you know, the screen's not disappointing at all, plays well, has enough processing power to just track through really quite smoothly and quickly. There's no lag in sound.
So your apartment is not my apartment. I know. The apartment.
That was one of the biggest issues when trying to find a video application that played AVI files smoothly, was sync with mouth movement wasn't joined together, and it was just annoying. As far as the device goes as a phone at the moment, I've just stopped using it. I've got my HTC Desire back from the manufacturer, and you know what, the HTC Desire is much more efficient as a phone. However, I like just sitting down, just playing a few games, browsing the web's quite fun on this. I have a few niggles in some respects to speed sometimes. Even like loading up the wallpapers can take a few seconds sometimes. But apart from that, it's really quite a smooth device. I like it. I just think maybe I should have waited and spent my money elsewhere, maybe on a different tablet like the Asus E Transformer. That seems like one of the most popular tablets at the moment. Messaging is quite straightforward. Nothing exceptional. So we have a look at browsing the web. Wi-Fi seems easy enough. I'm connected to Wi-Fi, by the way. I'm just going to quickly load up Google. You know, it's quite fast. There you go, lovely. Really smooth, fluid, no issues. Graphically, whilst playing games, I've had a few issues, even playing not really what I would call graphic intensive games, like BT Gangster. That can be quite slow sometimes. Maybe this is due to the app itself, I'm not quite sure. So that's pretty much it as the roundup goes. Not a quite great fan of the backing of this phone. It's a slide backing, and if you take it out, which I'm doing so now, the phone switches off. This is because of the grounding on the back of the phone. It's just metal plated, and if this isn't on properly, the phone or tablet, I should say, actually switches off. Front-facing camera I've never used. I just haven't really just needed it. 5 megapixel camera is pretty basic. That's another little niggle really that is quite annoying. With the device running 2.2, it doesn't run HTC Sense, which is a pain really, because it's like the Cyanogen ROMs. The camera function could be better. I mean, I've got a 5 megapixel camera in the Desire, that runs great. I can take quite reasonable pictures. With this, it's got pixels, you can see some squares going on. It's not great. I was quite disappointed really. There's, you know, these limitations of the camera are very apparent. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to stop rambling on and let you think what you like about the device actually. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to let me know. Thanks a lot.